righty, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Trying to look. Okay. Hold on. So the realness of motherhood. My baby girl's bringing me her graduation, kindergarten graduation papers right now. Awesome for making 100 on your sentence writing test in the swim program. Okay, mommy's going to look at this in a few, okay? But you did so great. 100 on your test. Good job. High five. Proud of you, baby girl. All righty. I'll talk with you in a few minutes, okay? Okay? We good? Okay. All right. Good afternoon. All righty. So I hope everyone is well on this Friday. And I want to jump in for a few. Something was on my heart. And yeah, so these impromptu lives I'm doing, I, for one, can say that yes, when I walk into a space or I go into a room, it's like an immediate, you're on, Shanquetta, let's show up. And I really have to sit and think about going live because I want it so structured. But the space that God is pulling to, it's like, let's just go. And so we're going. We are going. So I'm going to wait a few minutes, and I do ask if you are, as you are watching, not if you would please like and share, and also tag some great people that you believe could benefit from this subject that I will be sharing with you today. And it's about what to do when you don't know what to do next. And I know that we've all been there. You have a great idea, there's a situation, and sometimes you can be stuck in wanting to move forward. You have the desire, but you really don't know what all that entails. Sometimes we get analysis paralysis to where we actually do know, but moving forward is intimidating. So we're going to talk about that on today. So, oh, hi, that's what I call Sonia Sanders. Thank you for tagging. And I'm going to also make sure that I share as well. And then we're going to get started in our conversation on today. Am I doing this right? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, y'all. So while I'm just waiting, I picked up my gift bag that I won. Well, my bundle. Oh, I should go and get it. I won this amazing. I'm going to go and get it. It's so amazing. So I won this bag from Full Sun, and it's located on Southwest Drive. First of all, it's a gorgeous boutique, and it's owned by a female entrepreneur, Miss Teresa Beck. I'm trying to put both our names together, the names together, and let me just show you. I'm going to go get it. 1 second, cause y'all, it's so amazing. Let me show y'all this greatness right quick before we start, because I just, yeah. Oh, let me get in front of the camera. So, I did not even know what this bag was, and apparently this is like an $80 to $100 bag, and it's like multifunctional, so that you can, like a this organizing bag, and so you can clip things on it to place inside. It's like this huge bag, and then all of these products are by women-owned businesses. Look at that. Like, that's honey, bath bombs in it. There's a book in there by Melinda Gates. Some, I think this, a wine Arita mix. Honey, some jalapeno cheese chips or something. And all of these are by women owned. But y'all, look at this huge bag. Look at that. I'm so excited. And then I got all these kids too. So y'all already know. I just wanted to share that and show my appreciation to Full Sun and Miss Teresa and the whole team. I really do. That was my bag from the drawing for Women's History Month, and I was blessed to be able to win that. So I want to make sure that I acknowledge Miss Teresa and her wonderful business. But yeah, it's amazing. So, hey, Star, I didn't even see. Um, but yeah, it's so great. Alrighty. I'm not going to be here long. I want to just share with you something that's been on my heart. A lot of things are always on my heart. Let me say this. There is always something on my heart, but I really want to just share. I'm in the space as a consultant where I hear people's ideas all the time. I hear, and then with the Thrive Tribe, I get to do life with women. And if you're not a part of the Thrive Tribe, it's shanquettacunningham.com/thrive. Let me just go ahead and put that in here. I took a month off, but what we do is every month, and it's changing up, but it's a space for women to connect, women that are driven with a purpose, that know that they are created more than just to survive, but to thrive. And so for the entry level subscription of $199 a month, $1.99, I'm not saying $199. I share inspirational content, and I'm actually about to get ready and put that together and to send that off after I get off of here. So I get to hear people talk about their problems and starting a business or starting a nonprofit. And then I also get to hear another set of issues and concerns when it comes down to family. If you all do not know, most of you do, that I am married to my love of nearly 20 years. We are high school sweethearts. So we've been together since we were 17, and we have 5 amazing children. So, I am here in all this space, this business space, life space, family. And I know that all of us have gotten to a place to where we're trying to figure out, what do we do next? That if we're having a business decision, you're working with your nonprofit, you're trying to figure out some places to where you need to go with your family, that we've all been at places of, where do I go next? One of the great things about social media, and I'll keep saying it, that it has given us the ability and the accessibility to connect and to be with one another and to do life together, in a space to where we can share things quicker than what we would normally share, and that we will also give information that we probably wouldn't normally give. And it's not a bad thing in that essence. I also know that we've begun to make Facebook our diary, our consultant, our counselor, our best friend. And At the end of it all, though, we're still not getting and gaining the clarity that we need to really make the next right decision. And I remember hearing Oprah Winfrey talk about this one time, about how she has coursed her life in the steps that she's taken. And of course, we know the success that she's gotten, um, in her career as a billionaire, but more so as an international influencer, like not just national, an international influence. And she said this. She said that it wasn't about the full picture of life that she was trying to seize. It was all about taking the next right step. It was not trying to figure out the full puzzle, because she had an entire life to live, and she grasped that early on. And she said in her 30s, and now think about this, that I am here in, going to my later end of 30s, and how I am really striving to grasp that when I don't know what to do next, it's not about trying to figure the whole thing out. It's about taking the next right step. And see, for me, and if you're a person like me, that you are always having to have a plan to the plan to the plan, and then make the details to the plan to the plan to the plan with more planning. And then you end up making all of these things and have this long to-do list, to where you get so frustrated that you do nothing at all because you've overwhelmed yourself. I get it. I understand that. It's something that I'm working through myself. But it's funny though, how I'm called to solve those particular problems with other people. That's what I do. I'm keeping calls. I forgot to mute my phone. uh, I help people solve problems. Whether you have a nonprofit and you're trying to figure out, how do I really know that I'm making a difference, and how do I launch my nonprofit, and how do I start, and how do I get collaborators, and whether you are trying to figure out, man, I have a business idea and I just need to know that first right step, or whether you're talking about life and purpose, and how do I find purpose. And I share with people that it's not about finding. I know it's a play on words, but it's really about discovering the essence of who you are. It's not out in the world, but purpose is already internal. So I get to do that for other people, and I get to do that, and I love to do that, because taking the next right step, you need help to do that. I I know that we are in a society and culture that is putting ideas on individualistic success. But if you look at the greatest examples of success in technology, in education, social impact, it doesn't matter what machine, you will find that it took a group of people to get to that next level. And that's the same thing that it will take for your life, for your business, no matter what you are doing, even for your family, that it takes getting to that next right step. You have to do that with people. You have to do that with people that are not just like-minded, but like-hearted. Because there are, I can sit into the same room right now with people that may have the same ideas about, uh, so let's talk politics, right? That we could be all in the same room and say, we need new leadership. We all have the same mindset that we need new leadership. But what I know, and really coming to know, is that we may have the same thoughts about we need new leadership, but we don't have the same heart about it. It's time for us to now be with people that are like-minded and like-hearted. And when you are in crossroads and in spaces, when you feel like you're stuck and when you feel like you don't know what to do, it's going to be those people that you can count on and that you can center yourself with, that will be able to help you work out those things. when you are needing to go to that next level, or when you are feeling stuck, you are going to have to become comfortable with being vulnerable. See, as a consultant, when people come to me, instead of, it's like going to the doctor and you know that something is not right. But when you get to the doctor, the only thing that you do is go ahead and self-diagnose yourself. Like, I really just don't know why I'm here, because I can already tell you that, with my headaches and with this cough, and I mean, I just know I have the flu. So you go ahead and just write me up a prescription, because I already know. And that's how sometimes we do with life. We have a business idea, we go to a consultant, we want to go ahead and share all the plans. Like, I already know what to do. You don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want to be open and actually say, you know what, something's wrong, something's not right, and I really need a strategy. Or in life, to where, I'll make an example. I'm learning so much about business credit. Things that honestly have been discussed in country clubs and in various spaces that people like myself have not had access to. I'm in a learning phase of all of that. And I don't go to the expert to say, because I decided to go to Google University. It was one of those things to where, you know what? I don't know what to do the next thing to make this work. So what do I do? This is the place that we have to get to if we really want to get to that next level. And it's not about trying to portray something on social media, the other side of it, when it's still not yielding any results, when you're still stuck in the same space. It's not. So in order for us to move to the next level, and in order for us to figure out what do we do next when we don't know what to do, it's the first, that acknowledgement that, okay, something has to give. I need some help. And there's nothing wrong. And this help doesn't mean that you need to go and, now you need to invest in, $2,000 program or something to that, or that means I'm telling you that you are not okay in the head or something like that. I'm saying that, just simply saying, I need some help, and I need to try to figure out that next tool, whether it is signing up for a workshop, whether it is reaching out to a counselor, whether that is going to the doctor, whether that's working with a consultant. I know that here is a problem. I need to get to a solution of success. And so who is my who? It's not how, but who. Who is that person, the next right person that can take me to get to this journey of success? Because we have an idea of the outcome we want in our lives, right? Or in our business, or in our family. We have that outcome. We do know, we have this vision, and we envision what we want to see. But we have to be able to follow the process. And then have to be able, the second part is not just, it's yes, acknowledging and figuring out who is the next person. And then just being honest enough and saying, hey, all right, what do I have to do now to submit to the process for this transformation, for this change? And therein lies a lot of the stickiness, that we want to go into situations, as with the doctor analogy, already thinking that we know not only the problem, but then we already know the solution. And if you did, my sister and my brother, then you wouldn't need to go. Getting help doesn't mean you're not intelligent, you're not capable, you're not strong. Getting support doesn't mean you're weak, or that you are, this basket case of negativity, or that you just don't have it. Like all of these negative things that tries to come up in your mind, the enemy will try to create so that you don't go forward. It doesn't mean any of that. But what it does mean is that we are going to have to do something different if we want to see different results. Because there is always, my pastor says this a lot, and it's so true. There is always a strategy and a solution to a problem. It's being able to identify the tool. And for in our conversations, there's always a kingdom solution to earthly problems. There's always a solution. But we have to be open to say, in order for me to get to this next step, I have to acknowledge and I have to submit. And then I have to be ready to do the work. I get people that want to come to me and say, well, I want to start a nonprofit organization. They want to start a nonprofit organization. And then the first thing they say, well, I need a grant. And then I have to come back and say, there is a process to get to that solution that we must follow first, so that you can become grant ready, so that you can have the infrastructure internally with your systems and your board and your finances, so that you have the capacity for the blessing and for the solution that you're trying to receive. That same principle works in life. That when we don't know what to do, we can't, and we get the solution, we get the plan of action for the solution. What we now try to do is, like, when we were a little kid, I got this vision in my head because I'm looking at my own children do it, that we're going to the park or something, they see steps, especially little boys. Junior, he will try to do what he can to skip steps because he's trying to get to the other side or to the slide faster. So he's doing this big leap over 2 or 3 steps because he sees his eye right on the big thing, on a swing or something, and he's ready to go. And that's how it is sometimes in life, that we see it, we're right there, so let me skip this step. But you know what happens sometimes with Junior? He sometimes fall. He has, I've saw him hurt himself sometimes. Or I have to tell him, you can't go that way, because if other kids are coming down, you're in the way. You actually have to do it right, because you're blocking someone else. It's not always the wisest thing to skip steps. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to make. And when you feel like you don't know what to do, we can't skip steps. And trust me when I tell you, when I tell you that I will figure out how to expedite something in a minute. I am so guilty. I will try to figure out what is the quickest way. But I'm learning not to be anxious for anything. I recognize that there's some hastiness that I have, because I like to see progress. I really do. But I look at it as with having a baby. And y'all know I've had plenty. That there is a process. And if at any time for them to have come early, there would have been some other outcomes to that, because they need their full process. And you need yours. So get into that next right step. Whether that's a business idea, whether it's family, you're trying to figure out what it is with purpose. When you feel like you don't know what to do, reach out. You know, if you can think about and be honest with the problem that you're having right now, you do know a person or two that you can call. If you think about the problem that you have, if you face this week, or that no one knows and that you're dealing with, you actually know the person that you can reach out to right now. When people say, I don't know who to reach out to, especially in this age of social media, you actually do know. It's like the people that, oh, I'm not going to say that. But you know how to reach out to people. But I was going to say, you know how people just put it on social media, like I'm in search of like a lawn care person or something, and you know you just seen like 8 people post their lawn care services. You know, you know. But we're living in a space to where we want people to come to us when we're hurt, in our problems, be there for us, bring the solutions, bring the resources to us because you see my need. Instead of taking the initiative and moving forward, you know the person. But guess what? Sometimes that person, well, that person may not can answer you at the time that you really, really need, but say, you know what, let's get together 2 and 3 days from now. We like patience in the process. We want to dictate other people's time. Or you know you need that consultant. You know you need that professional service. You know that whatever they have, it may require an investment. But you're trying to figure out and say, because I have this need and this problem that, well, you know, since I have the need, because apparently you don't have needs, that business doesn't have needs, that business doesn't have payroll to meet, that business doesn't have monthly subscriptions of Zoom and all of this stuff, and that business doesn't have a lease to make, right? Like, so it's all about us, and that's what has been so damaging. That has been so damaging to society, that moving to the next right step sometimes require an investment, a time investment, maybe a financial investment. It takes some investing. And if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've already got. And I don't know about you, but I want something so different. I want something different in the context of whatever whatever I have been doing that has not been producing results. I want to break away from and break free from and move to the space to where success is so connected to me that there is no, that I'll just become synonymous. That's it. That I become synonymous with success. And that's first spiritual success. And I am loading success only from the aspect of meaning the place where I am blessed and my cup runs over. To where I know where I am wealthy at, and it's first start with my spirit, but it is financially, in that not only do I have what I need for my family, but I have what I need for community and to help others. And I want to become synonymous with success. So what do you want to become synonymous with? We have to ask that question of ourselves, because that's also how we get to that fourth step that I'm about to share with you. After we've assessed and after we've reached out and we do the work, and after all of that, is we have to know that everything that we are called to do, it's for impact. It's for others. It's not just for us. The money that you want to make, it has to have an assignment. The influence that you want to have, it has to have an assignment. How do you want to use that to better support someone else? How do you want to use this platform if you're trying to get to 1 million social media followers? What what's the assignment from your success? How are you going to impact and how are you going to help others? And if you only want success just for you to post on social media diaries, man, I'm telling you and I'm encouraging, hoping that you would just kind of review that. Because a part of that is just the peace. And God is not the author of confusion. And so when you're at a place to where you feel like you don't know what to do next, think about your who. There is somebody in your life that can give you that next step. And then you take that next step and then you hear what that person says to do and where they say to read and how they say to and what you need to do, and then you take the next step. It's not like this magical formula. It's just taking the next right step. So I just hope today and on this Friday, and if you're catching the replay, that as you sit here and you think about what's the next right step, if I'm a part of that solution for you, and if you say, hey, from a motivational standpoint, I need that constant, material, and I need that constant flow of positivity in my life, and you want to sign up for the Thrive Tribe, I put the link in the chat. You can sign up. ShanquettaCunningham.com/thrive. That could be your next right step. And then in the emails, you'll probably see something that will galvanize you to take the next right step. Or you may be in a space to where you have a business and you have a nonprofit and you're like, I have this idea and I have these ideas and I don't know how to put them into a plan of action and I don't know who to collaborate with and you just feel like you're stuck. I can help you with that too. And it's called the Transformation Hour. Spend 60 minutes with me. I have the reviews to share with you to prove it that that's what I'm called to do. I am called to solve problems. I'm called to deliver strategy. Spend 60 minutes with me and you'll have a plan of action. Spend 60 minutes with me and I assure you that I have the next right step because I know what I offer. I know what I'm supposed to do for you and we'll get to the next right step. And you can email, and actually, let me go ahead and put this in here. I'm going to do this right now. And you want to schedule a transformation session with me, literally that email, carisgrants@gmail.com. Send an email in the subject line, put transformation, and we'll be in touch and we'll get you scheduled and we'll get that plan of action and I will help you take the next right step. That's it. We just have to move. We hear, and again, something else my pastor always says, that we be obedient to what we hear. And we obey quickly. So if you know that you're being pulled to connect with me, connect with someone else. I may have given you an idea of another person that you're supposed to connect with. But when it comes down to nonprofits, you won't find a better consultant. There's a lot of great consultants. And then there's me. So let's connect. Alrighty. I am 4 minutes past the 30 minutes. And I hope that today something was shared with you to where when you're feeling stuck, just take the next right step. make those connections, and then follow that process. We're all in our own processes. I assure you, we're all, let me say that, we are all in our own processes. We're all dealing with something to where we have to remind ourselves, myself included, to take the next right step. I'm a visionary when it comes to community things, and I have a ton of ideas. And I'm so glad that God has brought someone into on my team that can say, "Okay, I hear you, and I'm with you, and we're getting there." But this is how we're going to streamline this. I need that for me, what I am to everyone else. That's what I am, and that's who I am to everyone else. And God has finally brought someone into my space that does that for me. So I promise you, I get it. That's why I can relate. And that's why I can support you. And that's why I can service you as a consultant, as your Thrive Tribe coach with the Thrive Tribe, and as your nonprofit consultant and strategist. I know what that entails. I know what it is when you have big ideas. And now those ideas need to be funded, they need to be planned, they need to be executed. Child, I know all about it. But that's why I can help you. So, again, connect with me. If you're a woman of faith and you know that you're called to thrive in faith, family, and purpose, ShanquettaCunningham.com/thrive. Easy sign up, Thrive Tribe. But you want to, stay close because next month I will be launching the Inner Tribe. And so if you subscribe to the emails and everything, you're going to hear all about it. And then, of course, I'm a consultant. I solve problems. Business, nonprofit, faith-based. I'm creative. And if you want an hour and want to sit down with me, let's do that too. Alrighty. So, hey, Mildred. Hey, Mildred. Thank you so much for joining on this Friday. I pray you have a blessed weekend, and I will be talking with you soon. Bye-bye.